Hi, my YouTube family. This is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today, we're going to have a wonderful time together. Hi, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Now, today, I'm going to read a story from my story journal. This story is written by me, and the moral for this story is how we should restrain from greed. Greed is really evil, and we should not have greed. So long time ago, there was Aina. So Haru and Aina lived together in a mud hut, and they were really happy. Haru used to fish all day. He was a fisherman, and Aina used to cook, take care of the home, and she used to do gardening, and she grew most of her food. And her mother, Haru's wife, she was very ill, and then after some time she passed away. So the father and daughter created a beautiful, peace, calm life for themselves, and they were doing okay. One day there were terrible hurricane. The sea went crazy. There were big waves on the sea, and the waves rise like the top of the mountain. Haru and Aina got very afraid, and their hut was little bit farther from the sea, but not too farther. The sea water came all the way near their hut because there were huge tides in the sea. Haru and his daughter Aina, they sat inside their mud hut and prayed to Lord to save their hut. And the hut was made by mud, so most of it got washed away. Only the roof was standing there, and everything else was washed away. So next morning, Haru and Aina was feeling very sad and with heavy heart, and they knew that they have to rebuild their life along with their heart. So they decided to make their heart a little bit farther away this time, and they were gathering things to make their heart. As Haru went to the seashore, he found lots and lots of fishes which came to the seashore during the high tide. So he collected all the fishes, and he was happy that he had all these fishes now that he can sell and make money, and so they can eat, and on top of that they can use the money to rebuild their home. So he was in a way happy at the same time and sad at the same time. So while he was gathering all these fishes, he found a little circle ball, and he picked up the ball for Aina, and it was a kind of weird looking, it was an iron ball, and which had a lock. So he was kind of thinking that this is so weird looking ball and it has a lock, but I will take this to Aina as she's feeling so sad and depressed about the house being gone and her garden and her vegetable being ruined with the high tides of seawater. So he took that little ball to Aina. And Aina and Haru, after dinner, they sat down and they managed to break the lock, and they opened that little iron ball. It was sort of like a little chest, but it had a appearance of a ball. So as they opened that, they found inside there were plastic packaging. So they opened the packaging. After that, the plastic packaging. There was a fabric packaging. They opened that, and there was a paper packaging. They opened that, and they found there was a big chunk of gold, a big chunk of gold. So they both were so happy. Their eyes were shining and glittering, and they're shouting with joy. Aina said, "Daddy, Daddy, now we can have all the things that we never had." And Haru said, "Yes, now I can build a beautiful home for us and get you married, and we will be so happy, and we don't have to live here by the seashore, so lonely, so alone in a mud hut. We can move to the city, and we can have that city life, the beautiful city life." And they were so happy, so joyous. Then suddenly Aina's eye fell into the paper. She picked up the paper. Said, "Dad, look at this paper. This says something." And then Haru said, "What is it, dear? What does it say?" She said that enjoy this chunk of gold. Change your life. But remember who you were before and how your life is changed today because of this chunk of gold. So be sure to give someone else this opportunity. Be sure to share your wealth with someone. So there was a rule to this chunk of gold, which every Saturday Haru and Aina, they need to give some food, some clothes, or some money to poor. Any form of help would be appreciated, but they must do it. Or if they choose not to do it, then they should put back all these things the way it was and put the lock and go put it in the sea again. So Haru and his daughter, daughter said, "No, Daddy, no, please don't put it in the sea. This can change our life." And Haru said, "Okay, dear, we will keep it, and this is not so much. We could follow this rule. It does not say that we have to give gold daily. It says once a week, every Saturday, we must give something to the poor, the needy." So they took the gold to the gold merchant in the city. The gold merchant gave them a lot of cash, and they used that cash to rebuild their life. Haru bought a beautiful house for them, for him and his daughter Aina. And then Haru used the money to get Aina married. Aina got married to a handsome man, handsome businessman. And Haru was very, very happy, and he actually opened a store for himself. And father and daughter very happy, and they were religiously donating every Saturday. Eventually life went on, and everybody got busy in their life as Aina started having babies, and Haru got busy in his life. And Haru, since Aina was gone and there was nobody to take care of Haru, so he was thinking about getting married and have somebody, some companionship. So as life was getting busy, and they kind of forgotten that every Saturday they need to give something back to the community, to the poor people, to the needy. So eventually Haru started getting very sick, and he wasn't feeling so healthy and joyful and full of life the way he felt before. He did not feel that anymore. And Aina was having a lot of trouble in her life, from her marriage, from her kids. And life wasn't the same the way they were. Aina was so happy when she was growing up. She would just play in the seesaw. She had this beautiful garden and she will garden, and she will just take a stroll in the evening. And her dad also, he would fish all day. Evening he will come back and they will cook together and eat. And then Haru used to sing in two tin cans and a string. He will just sing, make his music. He had a passion for making musical instruments, just with things from the nature. And Aina would sing and Haru would play the instrument, and the father and daughter really lived a very happy life. But everything was gone by now, and they were like really, really not feeling good. So once Haru went to visit Aina, and Haru said to Aina, their daughter, I am feeling really, really sick, and my health has gone so bad. And Aina said, Daddy, my life isn't good either. I have so many problems, so definitely I cannot take care of you here because my family is big now and it is full of problems, so I cannot take care of you. So Haru felt very lonely, and gradually his health deteriorated so bad. One day, somehow he had this idea that all his problems, everything, the answer was by the seashore. So he went to the seashore and he sat down by the seashore and he asked the God, why that you gave me money and everything? And then everything fell apart. I'm not healthy anymore. My daughter is happy before, but she isn't happy anymore. So, so as Haru sat by the side of the sea and started crying and pouring his heart out to the sea god appeared from the sea. Sea was so beautiful. She was the most beautiful, amazing looking goddess Haru had ever seen, ever he had laid his eyes on. So he was like, oh my God, you are so beautiful, sea goddess. And he was so mesmerized by her beauty. He kept looking and it gave him so much peace. And she said, Haru, I gave you everything. Why are you still crying? Then he said, but Mother Sea, you gave me everything, but I don't have any peace. I don't have any happiness. I don't have any health. I was so happy by the side of the seashore. I was so happy with my daughter. My daughter was so happy with me, and now she is so much suffering and unhappy. Then the sea goddess asked, but Haru, you did not follow the rules. You have forgotten to give every Saturday to the needy and the poor. Then Haru realized, yes, mother, yes, see, mother. I have forgotten, I'm so sorry, forgive me. The greed took over me, the evil greed. I started enjoying my life and I forgot my duty. My duty was to serve the poor once in a week. I have forgotten. And then the sea goddess said, so go back and do your duty and everything will be okay. So he went back and he started giving every Saturday to the greedy and the poor and the needy. he started going to the homeless center. There he gave everyone with all his heart. He actually started a soup kitchen in his home where all the restaurants would bring their leftover foods and donate there so all the homeless and poor can come and eat. And while going, Haru gave them a place to take shower, take rest. So he built a lot of houses where poor and needy can have shelter, access to a telephone, access to some health care, access to some clothes, access to some training where they can improve their lives. So he actually invested himself into taking care of mankind. And gradually he saw all his diseases just disappeared. All his diseases were gone. There was no more sadness, no more diseases. And his daughter started coming and helping out daddy in his mission, and slowly all her problems gone too, and the father and daughter together started running the shelter and giving and being kind to the people. And daughter moved in with father, with her husband and her child, and they all worked together and taking care of the needy and homeless and poor. And it totally changed their life. So the moral to this story is, when we receive something and in return we have to give something and there is a promise, a contract, we need to live by that rule. We need to follow that. Also, just taking and taking and taking and not giving anything back really hurt us physically, mentally, psychologically, every way. So once we have enough for us, we need to give to the needy and poor and homeless, because at the end of the day we cannot take all this with us. We have to leave it here. Yes, we need to leave it for our children, grandchildren, but at the same time we also have to help out some people. When the children, grandchildren, they have to make their own. So we need to also help out some people and teach them to help out others. So greed is very evil thing and we should stay away from it. Greed literally destroys us. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you. Good night. Have sweet dreams. Bye bye. Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.